Hello and thanks for joining us. Today we're exploring Paris's past, present and future through three iconic landmarks. We'll step back in time beneath the Eiffel Tower, discover how the city's oldest bridge has been transformed into a cave and celebrate 20 years of the Quai Branly Museum. The Eiffel Tower has dominated the Paris skyline for more than 130 years. Now a virtual reality experience is taking visitors back to the very beginning, revealing what stood here before the tower and how one of the world's most famous landmarks came to be. This report from Luke Schrago.
Visitors in virtual reality headsets beneath the Eiffel Tower are taking a look at the Iron Lady through the prism of the past.
Imaginez-vous ici même, il y a plus de 2000 ans. Paris n'existe pas encore.
A guided tour across the Champ de Mars lets people relive key moments in the saga that ultimately saw the construction of the Eiffel Tower.
It's really surprising. You're captivated by these beautiful images that take you back. It's really interesting to be able to understand how the Champ de Mars and the Eiffel Tower were built.
It's so instructive and so beautiful at the same time.
The team behind the virtual tour used 360-degree 3D reconstruction to bring history back to life. No easy task.
There was a lot of pre-production where we brought together many historical documents, graphical images, engravings, and photos of the area. We worked with historians on a foundation of all those archives. We gave them to our 3D designers to rebuild history where it happened as faithfully as possible.
Ce qui attire surtout les badauds, c'est la vue de Paris depuis les étages. Il faut se figurer que personne n'avait encore admiré la capitale d'aussi haut.
You're immersed in a film in 3D. The people and buildings are beyond real. It's magnificent, really beautiful.
I feel like I traveled into the past. It's like a kid's dream.
I'm old school, and I think it's magic.
Whether you're a local or a tourist, that magic of the new tour seems certain to rub off on everyone.
Vous pouvez retirer votre casque.
Next then, the Pont Neuf is one of Paris's most iconic landmarks, with the Eiffel Tower on one side and Notre Dame on the other. Street artist JR, often dubbed France's Banksy, has transformed the city's oldest bridge into a giant cave-like installation, inviting visitors on an immersive journey of sights, sounds and even smells. Juliette Brown reports now.
A giant cave inflated around the French capital's oldest bridge. Street artist JR's latest creation has been sparking curiosity for weeks. Now open to the public after storm damage delayed its debut, the installation is drawing happy visitors.
I'm always impressed by his creations.
I like the idea of monumental artworks in Paris. It brings the city to life, transforms the buildings, gives you a new perspective.
The project is a tribute to artists Christo and Jeanne-Claude, who wrapped the bridge in pale golden fabric 40 years ago, drawing around 3 million visitors. The 120-metre immersive gallery combines visual, auditory and olfactory elements. The smell of damp earth, the sound of the wind echoing beneath the vaults.
You can smell it. There are scents, sounds. It's an unusual, unexpected landscape.
It really feels like you're in the mountains.
I didn't expect it to be this big, this breathtaking.
The artist JR is often referred to as the French Banksy. His works have famously taken over iconic Parisian landmarks such as the Louvre, the Palais Garnier, or the Eiffel Tower. But they can be found all over the world, from this piece on the Mexico-US border to this one in Cuba.
My projects are often more likely to fail than succeed, but when they do work, there's something magical about them because everything has been done by hand. And in a world where technology is always advancing faster, this fragility brings us back to ourselves.
10 days later than planned, the opening may have come at just the right time. The inflatable structure, covered in canvas, is said to provide a cool refuge against the sweltering temperatures expected in Paris in the coming days.
Now, tickets are going on sale for one of the most anticipated exhibitions in recent memory. For the first time in nearly 1,000 years, the Bayeux Tapestry will return to England, going on display at the British Museum this September. The 70-metre-long tapestry recounts the Norman conquest of 1066 and is considered one of the world's most important historical treasures. And what makes it even more interesting is it was made by the English to celebrate them being conquered by their French neighbours.
It is certainly, in my opinion, up with the sort of top 10 artifacts or cultural assets of any country, and obviously it belongs to the French, and was made as a piece of propaganda for the Normans to celebrate the conquest of England. But it is also a cultural asset in the sense of the English because they actually produced it.
20 years ago, former French President Jacques Chirac opened an ambitious museum dedicated to the arts and cultures of the non-Western world. Since then, the Quai Branly Jacques Chirac Museum has welcomed 25 million visitors, staged landmark exhibitions, and sparked fierce debates about colonial history and the ownership of cultural heritage. As the museum celebrates its 20th anniversary, Antonia Kerrigan looks back at its legacy.
Jacques Chirac's €300 million pet project, the Quai Branly Museum opened in 2006, an emporium of artefacts from Africa, the Americas, Asia and Oceania.
It's an incomparable aesthetic experience and at the same time an indispensable lesson on humanity at this moment in time, as there is no more of a hierarchy between arts and culture than there is between different nations.
The bright red mastodon in an oasis of green is a far cry from the 7th arrondissement which surrounds it. Designed by Jean Nouvel, architect of the Paris Arab World Institute, the Lyon Opera House, or the Abu Dhabi Louvre Museum.
This construction had a very specific purpose, to talk about civilizations which have in many cases now disappeared, which feel very far away, which have different beliefs. And what I wanted to do was make a territory for them, hence the garden, and an architecture that isn't typically Western.
Built as a haven for 380,000 artefacts from across the globe, the Quai Branly Jacques Chirac has hosted over 160 temporary exhibitions too, like on the Mayas in 2015, or Fil de l'Or last year on the history of gold across the Middle East and Asia, which drew nearly 300,000 visitors, or currently, Africa fashion. But by keeping the Western and the non-Western apart, the very concept behind the museum provoked debate. And later, as post-colonial thought progressed, reckonings with history, as whole swathes of the African collection were acquired in a colonial context.
France had to act. 95% of the African material heritage is said to be outside of Africa. All young people need to take possession of their history to better build their future.
In 2021, the museum returned 26 royal treasures to the Republic of Benin, brought to France as trophies of war in 1893, returned on the basis that they were acquired through violence. The first of several restitutions and the start of a new chapter.
We're starting to work differently with our African colleagues. It's time to consolidate all this information and transfer our knowledge of these works and their history over the past century. I see it as a moment that brings us together.
This will be a weekend of celebrations as the Quai Branly Jacques Chirac marks 20 years. And in the years to come, the museum hopes to explore new horizons, like the indigenous art of Japan or the diversity of Iran.
And just before we go, let's head away from France for a moment and to the US, where a giant new mural has been unveiled in honour of Miami's World Cup matches. Created by Japanese street artist Dragon76, the artwork is one of several installations celebrating the tournament. It was completed in less than 2 weeks. 7 World Cup matches are to be played in Miami. It was made in collaboration with Street Art for Mankind, a non-profit organisation that commissions 50 murals a year to raise awareness about social and environmental justice.
It's really beautiful to see how art and sports are related. As I was mentioning earlier, they are both universal language that really goes beyond borders, and the joy, the inspiration, the unity they bring is fantastic.
And we'll leave you with images from the Flamenco Festival at La Villette, where Paris is dancing to the rhythm of Andalusia. Bringing together music, song and spectacular dance, the festival celebrates the rich heritage and vibrant future of flamenco. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Every week, Mark Perelman talks one-on-one to a personality at the heart of the news.
He is doing everything he can to try to stop the clean energy revolution.
There are still these responsibilities, so why?
This has been the main contention point probably for a long time.
But we are a people who want to be free.
You, the French, you tell us, the spirit of equality, fraternity, for what?
Hear the views that matter in Tête à Tête, every week on France 24 and France24.com.